All right, let's see what we got. Let's see. This is an old intro, by the way. I don't know if anybody. It's
This
funny.
is not paranoia. This is not a crazy person. This is not someone who is erratic. This is not someone who is on drugs. This is
Lord.
It's Brittany, bitch.
All right.
Big oh, sorry, my bad. Didn't know it was that one.
Big bag Eddie.
Welcome back. Ready to fuck shit up.
While this is going, I'm gonna share this out.
The event being hosted by.
This is one of my favorite spaces to be a part of. Thank you guys so much for having us on here. In the evening hours, this is the place to be. All of us radio. You guys crush it on the daily, man. I'm not fucking leaving.
Need to send in the National Guard a fucking SWAT team, because I ain't going nowhere.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got a fucking action-packed show for you. There's a new Pope in town, ladies and gentlemen. My brothers in Christ, let's get the money. All right, we got a ton of shit to cover. I mean, this show is going to be fucking epic. There's a lot going on. Right now, what I'm doing is I am going chat to chat, dropping this link in. And I know what you're saying. You're like, hey, you didn't sign up for this. Why are you sitting? If you don't want me sending this in your chat, it's really simple, bro. The only thing that you have to do is kick me from your chat. Otherwise, every time we have a show, you can expect me to shill this inside.
But Lord, no links.
Yeah. Lord, no fucking links. Too bad. I don't follow the rules. It's crazy that we've made it this far. And I think I've hit just about all of them. We're gonna see here in just a second. But we got a guest with us tonight, the Madman Money Marsh, who I'm shocked. I don't know if I'm gonna have Eddie when he gets to Series 7 handle my money when I get money, or if I give it to Marsh. I don't know what I do here.
Give it to Marsh right now. You don't have to wait,
bro. This dude is, I mean, he is a great guy when it comes to finance, understanding everything that's going on in the world, how to make a buck. We're just trying to turn $1, make $1 out of 15 cents over here. And this is one of the guys that knows how to get it done. How are you doing today, Marsh?
Amazing. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the invite. Happy to be here. Excited to talk about anything with a dollar sign. Been watching y'all streams. I feel bad that I was late to understanding the cadence of these shows, but I'll definitely be a supporter going forward, regular watcher, and yeah, like I said, excited to talk about whatever.
Oh yeah, bro. We are fucking happy to have you. Look, we have we got to get right into it. I mean, the market is up, money is up. I kind of want to start out with a clip just because I like to get the people going. Oh, well, no, I apologize. I got to take that back. Number one, we have a lot of stuff to promote right off the bat. We have Not NFT NYC going down at the end of June. It's going to be in New York. We are taking over. Yeah, we're taking over the theater again, and we're bringing in some major additions for that.
This will be our 4th annual event in New York City. It's gonna be great. I mean, this is gonna be the best of the last 3. So if you went to any of the events before, it was amazing. Obviously, if Laura's there, there's free beer. Obviously, if Britt's there, she's gonna be gatekeeping the aura, and then I'm gonna be there talking about assets and money. You already know. So we'll curate a bunch of panelists for you guys. So start reaching out if you want to be a sponsor. Get in early if you're trying to be a participator as a panelist or a speaker. You want to be a moderator. Let us know. This whole show is going to be curated to like the highest ability this time. So we'll be
we first took over a bar in Brooklyn. Then we took over an off-Broadway location. We took over the world-famous Oculus. Now we're back off-Broadway. So another historic place, and you definitely don't want to miss out this year.
Not a bad thing to add to your resume either. A little off-Broadway show production. So
It is, and it fills into the lore a lot because I remember when we first threw it there, we were like, "Oh man, if we get some apes." And of course, we had some awesome people like Squiddy and Hoarder who like jumped in, like, "Hey, we'll participate." And this year, what I'm proud to say is that we got a ton of apes there. There's gonna be a ton of like ape themed stuff there. You've got Board Trading Co. Jason again coming in hot with a bunch of cool stuff. You have Let Me Buy Your Ape Change doing a panel. You've got Aaron Haber doing a comedy set. We've got Meta Betties in the mix, and today we just finalized that we will also have Fuck It Productions at the event. So you definitely want to check that out. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you, share the fucking space. Also, drop a comment. I'm going to be picking somebody from the comments. We'll be posting them on the screen, and I'm going to pick somebody that will win a prize. Man, I should have taken a picture of the prizes, but we've got fucking socks. We've got it. I'll send you Apecoin. We have what else? We koozies, tons of koozies. So leave a comment. If it makes it to the big screen, then we will pick some winners and we will hand them out there.
We got something for everybody.
Absolutely, bro. It doesn't matter if you drink beer or want to prevent rugs. We do have something for you. And one thing that I do want to bring to you guys at some point, what I would like to do is, why is it not working for me? Because I have to stop the screen first. I would love to get you guys some coffees. So at some point, I would love to get you guys Rich's Roast. Let's make sure we get some of those. Beautiful, dude. All right, we covered everything we got to plug, I think. Now we can get into the meat. I feel like we need a clip. You guys cool with a clip? Which one do you want to play? Did you have one you want me to play? That from the one that you
Hit us with the Trump clip first.
Say again?
Hit us with the Trump clip.
All right, you got it. All right. So what we'll do is we'll do open with make time player. And then we're going to go here. We're going to say stop screen. We're going to go present. And again, this is why we need a producer.
You're the producer, Laura. I keep telling you that it's not in the budget.
We got to get a budget, bro. We have to get a budget because my shit is getting wrecked over here. I'm looking for, it should be one of the first ones. AOU NFA. It is the first one. And then we have show May 8th, and this is going to be Trump. Let's see what we got here.
Let me see what you got. I hope you're grabbing something good.
You told me the Trump one.
Okay, is it the one it's the one I sent you?
Buy stock now. Let me tell you, this country will be like a rocket ship that goes straight up. This is going to be numbers that nobody's ever seen before. That's a very important element of all of this. You know, if we get that. If you don't, and the Democrats are fighting it only because they want to fight. They have Trump derangement syndrome. You know, if it was somebody else, they wouldn't fight. If you had a normal person, if you had some stiff sitting behind you, they'd be fine. But they have Trump derangement syndrome. You know, Senator Schumer's become a Palestinian. Welcome. I don't know when they're going to give him the ceremony, whatever the ceremony may be. It's terrible what's happened to the Democrats. So very, very important element of everything, of what we're doing, unrelated to today, but related in the sense that we'll do, if that passes, we'll do even more business with the UK. We'll have so much.
All right.
You missed the best part.
What was the best part?
When he says, and, Buttigieg comes into work on his bicycle with his husband.
Oh, that's later. I think I clipped it.
Oh yeah, I didn't get that part. I would have played it, but
yeah, no, he's so funny. This guy's a character, man. All right. Well, first off, where were you, Money Marsh, when you first heard this Trump say go buy stocks again?
I don't know. I mean, probably in the office. Was it 11:40 Eastern is what it says on the clip. So, I mean, that's 8:40 my time. Yeah, definitely in the office. But mentally, I like that he's saying it. I mean, it tells me that they know what time it is. And from my perspective, and this is politically agnostic, like, you need to be with your money. But, they know the only way that they're going to do well in midterms, the Republican Party, is if this economy is really humming and going, especially no later than like the end of this year, start of 2026. We're right now they got the House, they got the Senate, they got the presidency. So they can get a lot of agenda items pushed through. If they were to lose even one of those, it makes it very difficult. If they were to lose the Senate and the House, then I get nothing done. So, whatever you think of people, however you think they may be not smart or not really aware of what's happening, I think these guys are definitely smart enough to understand now is the time to get through all the tumult, to get all these deals, start cooking them and get them done by the end of the year, because we really need to be humming in 2026 if they have any hopes of keeping all this stuff. And I mean, for me, 250th year of America, birthday coming up. I don't know how you say that in a cool way. It's not bicentennial, but whatever it is, that's coming up next year. Um, Powell is out May of 2026. A lot of people don't know that. And I damn
He could
sure.
possibly stay on the board
Yeah, do you
too.
think he's gonna stay even though he's not gonna be calling the shots, or do you think he's just gonna?
I would be over it. I'd be like, yo, Trump just said I'm not in love with him. I'm out of here.
Here's the thing is, they really want him to lower rates now, right? For a couple of reasons, because that's going to be good
Makes
for the
them look
economy.
good.
That's going to be good for growth. What's that, Laura?
I was saying, makes him look good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's his best bet, because these people are in and out of that position, and you just remember what you remember,
Well,
and
Marsh, let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Something I don't understand. So this is a dude that he hired for this job. Am I
he
wrong?
appointed him. Yeah, he appointed him, and then the last administration, didn't have any problems with him. But
right.
once they get in there, you can't get rid of them. So that's the issue.
And you can't tell him what to do. You
Hold
can't
on.
get rid of him, and you can't tell him what to do. It's like
Yeah.
a double.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, this is somebody that was appointed by Trump.
Right.
What is his? Do you think that maybe he has some good reasons as to like? I don't think lowering the interest rate is great. Like, you guys have great fiscal policy, but let me deal with the monetary policy here. Do you think that there's a reason why he's like, hey man, I don't think it's a good idea to lower this. I think it could cause a problem.
I don't think their ideas hold water. I mean, so he's got his idea in his head. The rest of the world has already been lowering rates. So we're behind in that regard. I'll just take you to the last couple events. So you go back I believe it was June. They didn't lower rates. They missed that. And then come the yen carry trade crisis. Y'all remember that in August, everything dipped hard, right? And then he comes out right after that and is like, okay, I'll do 50 bips. So what the cuts are generally like, the minimum is 25 basis points. So that's 0.25%. The fact that they didn't do it in June or July or whatever the meeting was, and then they came back and did 50 right after the yen carry trade debacle, is them saying, hey, we screwed up. We should have done it then. Now we're going to double do it now. So they've already been late. I mean, that was the most recent kind of incident. You go back to the beginning of COVID, they say, hey, inflation is transitory, which means temporary, and it ended up being persistent. Any of us who were buying things at the grocery store, buying gas, whatever, we could see that it was persistent, that it was increasing little by little. But you're there in some ivory tower making assessments of numbers that are coming in, a lot of them rear facing numbers, and you get it wrong. So you hear about the hard landing, soft landing. That's the only thing this guy's got left on the table, is can he bring us in for a soft landing, which means can we miss a recession? And if he doesn't cut rates, the answer is maybe, maybe not, probably not. And I think that he's a political person and would like nothing more than to see, Trump kind of fall on his face. But here's what I can promise you. The next person that comes in that gets appointed, they're doing so under the hard promise to Trump and the administration that we're going to lower rates like crazy. Like, I think they want a terminal rate somewhere around 2% or even sub 2% on the Fed funds rate. Right now, we're at 4.25 to 4.5 spread. So, I mean, that's a long way down, and the economy would take off. All these like smaller cap companies who rely on capitalization and borrowing money to expand, I mean, they're going to go crazy. And again,
Now,
for
give
us,
us
it's
the
the government.
downside. Give us the downside.
Okay, so I mean, I think there's even more upside. If the downside is if we don't do it, when we're refinancing our own debt, this $36 trillion, we're paying these rates now. So they need it to come
7
down.
and
Not,
8%.
yeah, right. Not just for businesses, but individuals. Look, mortgages haven't gone anywhere. If you were thinking about buying a house, you really want to borrow money at 7%, 7.5%, 8%, no way. So you're sitting on the sidelines. So real estate's not moving. It's already starting to crumble in different areas. Some places
Yeah,
it's
a lot
doing okay.
listings are skyrocketing in like Florida and popular areas where people were doing like turnkey or Airbnb style
Sure.
real estate.
Yep.
The listings are starting to skyrocket. There's like even this little place, I forget what it's called, but it's right off of Texas into the water. You guys might
Yes.
be familiar with it. The people are literally like leaving their houses because they realized they were trapped into long deals on bad property, and these higher listings create that's when the dominoes start falling, is like all these listings goes and nobody has liquidity.
Correct. And so everybody is sitting on their hands waiting for rates to come down. The vast majority of people, if you got a ton of cash or whatever, big deal for you. But in general, you're waiting for rates to come down, whether it's a car or a house. There are pockets that are doing well. Southern California is doing okay because you guys had Palisades fire. So there's all these displaced people. They need a place to rent. They need a place to buy. They kind of snatch
That's
up
true.
whatever. Yeah.
Damn.
So
But
what
in
did
general, you need it to come down.
So what does this mean for the real estate market?
What it means is it's not moving like it should. I mean, listings are starting to pile up, like Eddie was just saying. And when people can go out and they can get financing and they don't have to count on being able to refinance in a year or two, some people are taking that approach. They're saying, hey, I'm just going to get in today. I know rates are going to be lower in the future. Then I'll refinance. Not everybody's taking that approach. Some people are just saying, you know what, I'm just going to keep renting. I don't want to wait for rates to come down, or I'm going to only wait for rates to come down. I don't want to hope that they're going to come down and then refinance. And so it means real estate, by and large, across the country is not moving the way that it should. It's creating kind of a potential downside. I mean, I think there's more, to answer your question, Britt, I think there's way more potential negatives than there is, hey, we've lowered rates too quickly. What they would say, the Fed would say, is if we lower rates too quickly, then people will get out of control with spending, and then we have to cool the economy off. Just keep this in mind. The only way the Fed really acts is kind of as the puppet master of the whole thing. The big guy, that's the Fed, doesn't trust the little people, that's us, to make the right decision when it comes to our lives and spending our money. So they have to artificially create an environment where you are unable to do the things that you want to do. They don't trust that if rates were 1%, that you wouldn't go blow it all on a car and a house and credit cards. So they make rates really high to stop you from spending. Their idea is that's going to bring inflation down. I'm not for that. I'm always power to the people. I think we're responsible. I think we're good. I think if you give us more tools to be successful, we will be more successful. I think if you treat us like little kids or whatever, then we're going to try to take your shit over one day. And I think it could happen,
The
eventually.
heavy hand of the government, yeah, we need that to lighten up quite a bit. I've seen these videos of people saying that they're paying $1,700 a month for cars, for new cars right now. And I'm like, I can't even fathom that. That's absolutely insane. But a lot of people that are getting married that were ready to purchase, ready to pull the trigger in Los Angeles before the Palisades fire, we're like, okay, we see opportunities in the market. We might as well keep renting and just have our rental properties as investments right now. But buying for personal use, that's just absolutely out of the question at this point.
I also want to add into that too, that like the people who can think, hey, I'm going to buy this house and I'm going to be able to refinance when rates are lower, and they're like thinking smart like that. These are mostly the real estate professionals and mostly people who are very money literate, like they have financial literacy. Most people, this is their most expensive purchase. And so they're not even thinking of refinancing. They're thinking, I'm trapped in this loan for 30 years. And so I need to do it at the right time. So I think that really controls a lot of people's behavior, where it's like, yeah, the people who know that they can refinance and do some HELOC and like they can profit 10 different ways off of real estate. Cool. Those guys are actually, they're going to be fine. But the person who hasn't bought a house and is buying it for their sole residence, they're going to be way more cautious on locking themselves into a 30-year loan, because they understand of where that can go, what that compounding does on a month to month of 8%. So
I just saw a young couple in their young 20s, 24, say they're so excited they just bought $1 million starter home. starter home in Los
God.
Angeles, $1 million, and that's realistic right now. We're like, yeah, maybe a condo is where it's at, because $1 million starter home, we were doing the math of how many years we would have to rent for that to even logistically make sense, not including property taxes, HOA, all of the stuff above, just solely paying that off without any interest. And yeah, it's just not even something. I mean, I was thinking, what about the people that are really just like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be house poor. I'm going to have nothing but a mortgage. Like, I can't even, people that are willing to do that, I hope that they're making the right decisions. But doing that in Los Angeles right now and not having an alternative plan.
So do you think that people who get in today, instead of waiting for the rates to go lower, will do this to their house? Okay, I know why. I know. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. Do you think people who damn it, we'll do that.
What just happened?
I gotta fucking, we need a producer. All right, we need a producer, and
We'll talk after this. I got a couple of people actually that are pro producers and probably would work with you guys for close to that.
What am I seeing?
Yeah, what are we looking at?
A house being bombed?
Oh no.
I don't know about bombed. That this definitely got blown up. I never said bombed. Don't say bombed on this fucking show ever.
You just said it 3 times.
I didn't say bombed at all.
Elon flag.
What they're gonna do.
Okay, so Laura, are you asking, are these people making a mistake by getting in now?
Yes, I'm curious. Do you think it's gonna be a mistake?
So I thought Eddie made some great points, and Britt too, and that's a reasonable follow-up question. So there's opportunity and risk on both sides. The opportunity is that if you get in now, and this is the other side is the risk. If you get in now, you're going to get in ahead of everybody that is going to run to buy a house and get a mortgage when rates come down. Right now, there's no competition, right? So if you can get in and you can, if you can handle the rates where they are and a higher payment for a year or two, I think you're really, really going to do well. I think if the plan is, hey, I'll wait a year, 18 months, then rates will come down, that's going to be pretty tough, because then everybody is going to be there. You know, supply and demand works just like that, right? Once everybody's running because they can now get a mortgage that they can afford, price of houses is going to go up. So my thing is, depending on where you live, I would shoehorn myself in now. If you live in a place like Southern California, maybe that's not realistic. I mean, Britt, you mentioned $1 million for a starter. I'm curious what rent is in the same area. You know, it's like for me where I live, and there's some easy calculations that you all can do to know if you can afford, you know, what a house is. But in general, if you're within 20 or 30%, maybe 40% at the most of your rent to a mortgage, then you should probably be buying. You know, if it's
really
100% more.
It's really much more so of, we just had to pay $50,000 for a new roof for a rental property in Barstow. So it's these little things that come up that you're like, okay, now I have to finance this. I have to figure out how I'm going to pay this off with 0 interest. We still have to keep the mortgage paid. It's so many little things that can happen that it just makes sense to use it as an investment and not as your living premises.
Brittany was able to successfully rent her apartment her home. It's a 3-bedroom home. I don't know why I said apartment. She was successfully able to rent it for 50% above market. So she's still killing it.
With the help of my amazing husband,
she's still killing it. So, but yeah, like the people don't think, like, even if the person you said, example, $1 million into a home, where does that lead you for 8% on like a 30 years? You know, that's one thing, but you can't even calculate the things that could come up with owning a house. You know, it's much more of a commitment, but you know, you're responsible for everything, maintenance, toilet, like that's all you. So
also many parts of LA are you know how they have parts in the Bronx that certain boroughs are rent control. We have certain areas of Los Angeles that are rent protected, meaning that it can't go up more than a certain amount. And those areas are usually for California natives that have the ID, and they don't really rent to non-Californians. But those kinds of areas that are safe havens, I think if you have a location like that, it just makes sense to continue to rent. If you can find one of those places, get grandfathered in.
Can you give me an idea of the rent? Like just a range? I mean, you don't have to say what you all pay or whatever,
People are paying $2,800 for 2 bedrooms. 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,800, maybe 900 square feet. That's insane to me.
That doesn't
and how
count
much would
the
that house
parking
cost
spot.
if they sold it?
Oh, these are apartments.
Those are
I don't know.
apartments,
But
yeah.
we were just looking, and people are paying $450 for car rent, meaning for a parking space. So you have to pay every single month to park your car there. That's more than my car payment when I had a car payment way back. That's more than my car
So,
payment.
Britt, if that was a condo close by, just guess. You know, I'm just trying to get a range here for the conversation. Like, if it was a condo
Marshall,
close
are
by,
you
what would
chilling
that be?
in a Tesla?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Yeah,
wanted to make
and just so you know, I'm waiting to get a new one. And the reason I've been waiting is because the rates, even from the credit union, are like 6%. Tesla just came out last week with a 0% financing. And so now I'm getting ready to make a move and trade this one in. I've had this one since 2018. I mean, I was early, you know.
Well, the best thing though is that Elon put technology in his 2018 ones that he didn't, full self-driving and stuff like that. So it's like you can still experience those upgrades in those cars before they even came up with the real stuff.
Yeah,
so that's
I actually
it's so far ahead.
It's a small point of contention. This one actually is missing some hardware, which is like $1,500, and so I can't get full FSD. I can only get autopilot. And my wife, she has a 2023 Model Y, so I've been able to drive the full suite of the technology in hers. But I've been looking to upgrade for me. I mean, it's kind of like a phone.
Does the autopilot cap you at a speed?
You can tell it to go a certain number of miles over, depending on where you are. Sometimes it'll only go like 5 miles an hour, 10 over. But in general, you can usually get up to like 90 on the freeway or whatever, something like that.
When you get your new car, we're gonna have to bring you back. You need to take us on a live test drive with you.
Yeah, we'll do the show from I'll let it
while
drive
you're
around
driving.
Sure.
Yeah, that might be
Totally.
nice. That would be really cool to see that live.
Yeah.
Really quick, and I won't take too much time from it. Just really quick. What I do have to do is thank the community for listening to going down at the end of June. We'll be up there. Check out Richard Road. My Arlo Marshall, by the way, the fucking all kinds of weirdo shit. I don't fucking the fake community. All right, there we go.
What?
I can't.
We couldn't hear any of that. You got to turn the music down so we can hear you.
And my YouTube, I'm gonna have to take the music off because of demonetization issues. So
we really do need a producer, guys.
What Laura said, we need a producer.
Yeah, I told you guys.
All right, now, DJ.
Here's the thing. Here's what I do want to talk about really quick, if we could. I want to talk about the stock market, but first, I want to bring up this fucking brilliant idea that this bar had. That I just thought it was ingenious, and I want to get you guys' take on it, and then we'll talk about the stock market.
Stock market night?
Yes, yeah.
So much fun.
What is that?
So they basically have a live stock market for all the drinks. So like if everyone's ordering Coors Light, the price of a Coors Light goes up. So, but then you can run up there and be like, oh, Pabst Blue Ribbon, no one's ordering it. It's now $1.25.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So you just watch the board.
And it's a great way to get rid of your old beer.
Correct. Yeah. So it's like the market will go
awesome.
up and down. Yeah.
The problem with those deals, though, is I worked as a bartender in a college town, and we would have like $3 slushy night. College kids don't really understand how to tip.
Correct.
So they'd be like, "Oh, it's $3," and then I would
Correct.
only get $3 a slushy the whole night and be
Correct.
making below minimum wage.
Yeah, and like all these places have the deals.
You won't have to pay taxes on those, by the way, anymore. Thanks to our I don't know, commerce in chief or whatever you want to call him, salesman in chief. You won't have to pay taxes on those anymore. But what do you guys think about that as a overall? What do you think about that happening at a bar?
I think with some blockchain technology and some NFC chips, that could be possible, something. But how would you implement that? I love the idea. I just think
They're
that's
already implementing it. As I understand it, they are already, the way that he talked about it is that you can go to a bar now and these things exist.
Oh, I thought he was like, what if? I thought we were playing the hypothetical game. Oh, I want to go to that bar. I need to be there.
I mean, it's a super easy concept to understand, right? So just like it's supply and demand. But what I would say is obviously poisoning yourself with alcohol is not the choice, right? You gotta make the right decision. But if you're going to do it and it helps you understand the stock market, I mean, that's like a win-win right there.
That's a hands-on approach for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely see it's crazy because you would think that when you go into a bar, people are trying to get the bang for their buck, but real drinkers don't drink that way. They just drink what they drink. So only guys like myself who would be issuing to save $1 would be participating
That
in
happening in a college town totally makes sense though. That does make sense. That tracks for college kids.
What this does remind me of though is like prediction markets, which is like relatively new. You know, Kalshi kind of unfolded it a few years back, but it's basically like deciding on what the better beer is. But only in this case, if you pick the better beer, you're paying more, so you lose if you're following the crowd. So I do like that you can choose away from the crowd, get rewarded for that. That's a concept that I'm seeing that can pop up with prediction markets, because currently it's very easy to just say yes or no on any outcome. But if you're adding other layers to it, that's when it can get fun. So
and I could see Eddie in there longing IPAs. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
it's gonna get $1 one day.
By the way, if you want to get Lord to understand stocks, you just put it in beer terms. And then if I get all of a sudden he understands it perfectly.
So I took special ed classes. You got to talk to me in a way that I can understand.
You know what I mean? So Marsh, I'd love to get your take on the beer market here.
I mean, when I thought it was a way to combine stocks with alcohol, I was more bullish on the idea. Now that I understand it's just a way to offload your drinks, I'm kind of whatever on it. Because like I walk dogs, like I have some elderly clients. We probably meet almost every day to go walk dogs. They're clients and friends, but that's just the way and time that they can meet. It's a highlight of their day. And, I give them a little market update every day when we're walking around for 10 or 15 minutes. And, I like combining other things and talking about the market without it being salesy. It's just informational. You're just getting information.
I love that. That's so wholesome. More financial advisors need to be like you. I love that.
Dog walks and dog stocks.
So Marshall, give us the current. There you go. Dog walks and big stocks. I like that. And dog walks and talk stocks. That's a sick fucking line. You should immediately start a business with that.
Sure.
Yeah, dude. So Marshall, so tell us what the fuck is happening in the market, dude. What's going on? Because it's been low. As I understand it, everything is up. Bitcoin is up. ETH is up. I mean, I can't believe ETH at 2,000 and I'm shocked. But what are we looking at here?
Yeah, I think we're looking at the volatility, kind of trying to figure out what's going to happen and what's going to be regular. You saw everything sell off with tariff news. Keep this in mind. The stock market is always forward looking, and they like to know everything. They like to price in everything. Yeah. They like to predict everything, and uncertainty is volatility's best friend, right? So when they don't know what's going to happen, you see that represented in the stock market. But you just go back to Trump's first term, and we saw this, especially through the first 2 years. I mean, it was, up 3%, down 2%, down 3%, down 1%. I mean, these big moves, which are really unique to him. And so what I think is happening more from a macro standpoint is a little bit what we touched on earlier is the Republicans are working on a number of agenda items. Tariffs are important. It's important that we have a better deal with everybody than what we currently had. And I don't think if you went through all these countries that we slapped these on, I don't think there's anybody that's going to come outside where we're going to have a worse deal. It's like, hey, you shouldn't have done that to us. Now you're going to have to live with this markedly worse deal forever. So I think we're going to get a better deal on tariffs. with everybody. I think from the administration standpoint, their goal is to get rates down immediately. Powell's not playing ball. I mean, he's going to make it like it's his idea whenever he decides to lower rates. Goldman Sachs and a lot of other people had the spread at 75 to 100 basis points this year in 3 rate cuts. Now I'm not really sure what we're going to get. Maybe he'll cut in June. Maybe he won't. There seems to be kind of a split there. Either way, from the administration standpoint, it's what we talked about earlier. They're trying to get us in a better financial spot, especially ahead of 2026, America's 250-year birthday. It's going to be awesome. We've got the World Cup here as well, primarily in the United States, although it is USMCA. So I think we got some great things to come. We just need to weather the storm for this year. And for me and my clients, I'm actually really proud. I just did a review today. I have a portfolio that I benchmarked to the NASDAQ. It's pretty tech heavy. And today we hit a 4.3% return for the year, which is pretty good. NASDAQ is still down 6. So, I mean, that's about a 10-point spread. Now we do use options in the portfolio, so that helps generate better returns. But I mean, we're smoking the benchmark. And, if you're dynamic in your approach and you put the work in, I feel like anybody can do that. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I don't always create portfolios for people. I'll use their portfolios if that's what they want to do. But the option strategy, the overlay is important, is a decent amount of work. You need to be there when the market is open and close and during those hours, but you can really do well. So,
do you consider yourself a conservative or an aggressive investor? Like, how do you play, or is it different for everybody, or what?
It is different for everybody, and I think those terms have changed over the last number of years, especially since COVID. Let me give you an example of that. So, traditionally speaking, an all equity portfolio doesn't necessarily mean it's aggressive or not. An example of that is whether you're investing in high growth stocks versus what they call value stocks, those stocks that pay a dividend, right? So, Coke doesn't carry the same risk profile that Nvidia does, right? They pay a dividend. They're not going anywhere. It's always going to be Coke or Pepsi or whatever, and you're getting this dividend. Well, dividends have always been really important and a nice part of a portfolio. And you could say they align more with a more conservative portfolio, if you will, especially compared to growth stocks. But look what happened the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, you had interest rates above 4.5% or 5%. So the risk-free premium was 5% plus for a long time. Risk-free meaning you could just put your money in a money market and you're getting 5%. Today, that's 4.37% is probably the risk-free premium right there in the middle of 4.25 and 4.5 Fed funds rate. So why would I want to own a value stock that's paying me a 2 or 2.5% dividend when I can go get risk-free almost 4.5%? So I'm better off taking a growth stock that doesn't pay any dividend, but at least I have the opportunity at 10, 20, 30% or whatever it is, right? So risk changes depending on where interest rates are and a number of other factors.
All right. So I got now you've opened up a huge jar of questions for me.
Okay.
We're gonna get to Professor Chaos. By the way, Professor Chaos and Brandon, DM me on any platform you choose. I prefer Twitter, and you guys have won something for engaging. I don't know if it's socks or whatever it is, but DM me and we'll get it. So my immediate question is like shit, I lost it because I said that. So let's go we'll go back to it. Is liquid cooling the future, and is SMCI at 32 a bargain price? I don't even know what any of that means. Bring it home for me.
Yeah, I think that cooling definitely is always going to have its place. I've been a big believer in symbol VRT. That's Vertiv. They handle a lot of the cooling, especially in data centers and other things like that. But again, what you saw with DeepSeek coming out in China is everybody pretended and the stock market reacted like nobody's ever going to build another data center ever. And that's obviously not right. So, we need some amount of direction in CapEx from these big companies to see what they're doing. where they're going to put their money for everybody to feel comfortable in that trade again. That was an amazing trade in 2024, the data center, AI data center thesis. And everybody was killing it in that space. SMCI, listen, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the company, so I can't really say if 32 is a bargain. I'll just tell you I'm not invested. For
Yeah,
myself
Lord,
or any
just
of
to
our
give you
clients
some
right now.
background too, just to give you some background, SMCI recently this year missed on reporting some numbers, and then the firm that was auditing them ended up
By how much?
dropping them.
By how much?
No. They end up they missed on reporting as far as they didn't report,
Their
which is really
accountants
bad.
essentially fired them, and then
Oh.
they had to get a new set of people that would verify their numbers. They almost got delisted. So listen,
It's a really bad thing when the public companies do not report. Like that's like very bad. Like, one thing to not report right on time. Oh, you're gonna report at 4. You report at 4:05. It's like people are still kind of grilling you. But to not report at all, or to be have to file an extension for being late and stuff, is just like it's a big red flag for investors. And
Wow.
yeah,
By 5 minutes, it's a red flag.
yeah, 5 minutes is a red flag. You're like, wait, where's the numbers at? Why haven't they
Yeah,
dropped it?
what are they doing?
What's
What
going
are they
on?
editing right now?
So
I'm wondering, have you guys seen those videos of people that live near Meta's data centers and their water pressure and the water sediment and everything that's happening?
You would have sent that to me.
Oh,
I haven't
I
seen
didn't know
that.
we were going to go here today, but yeah, it's really like, especially in water scarcity areas like Arizona, they have no water, and Meta is taking all of the water to cool for their servers. And these people are having to fill up buckets with plastic water bottles to shower, to wash their dishes.
Oh my God.
Jeez, wow. Yeah, I mean, you
Heartbreaking.
hope there's no contamination or whatever. I mean, like a Aaron Brockovich type story.
Oh no, it's all brown. It's brown, so there's definitely contamination. You see some toxic sludge in there. Yeah,
That's
Aaron
too bad.
Brockovich. That happened near close to where
California.
Eddie grew up. Yeah, close to where Eddie grew up a little bit.
Laura, can you play that Dr. Karp clip as well? And then I know Marshall, we've talked about Palantir when it was like $25. So I know he'll have a little take on that. If you want to bring that video up that I sent you.
You got it.
A lot of our viewers and listeners, hopefully, very rich. What's the market getting wrong?
Oh, sorry, I sent him one from the phone. So
If
that
you
was.
don't like 71% growth in US Com, 45% growth in USG, a rule of 83, 55%.
The guy sitting next to
90% of our business.
He's looking.
55% growth in the US, 49% growth in 90% of our business. You don't like that? Go look for something else.
He said to boss for that.
You don't have to buy our shares. We're happy. We're going to partner with the world's best people, and we're going to dominate. And you can be along for the ride, or you don't have to be. We're going to see you. You don't like that? Go look for something else. You're pretty happy.
Dude, I had to clip that one. I had to click.
Love that.
You don't like that? Go look for something else. We're pretty happy.
Go look for something else.
Yeah, dude. And then this
We're
one.
going to partner with the world's best people, and we're going to dominate. And you can be along for the ride, or you don't have to be.
That's right. That's what we're doing for not NFT NYC, by the way. We're partnering with the world's greatest people. If you don't like it, you go somewhere else, is what I'm trying to say. There's nothing else, by the way, that not NFT NYC. But did I cut the shit that you wanted me to cut, Eddie? Did I clip it?
Yeah, that was good. Those are the ones. I was like, Laura's gonna figure it out. I just sent him a minute to the clip. So I was like, he's gonna clip what I need.
He's gonna clip what I need. No instructions needed. Beautiful, dude. I don't know, Marshall. What's your take on that clip?
I love Alex Karp. Funny, I bought this guy's book, new book on, I think it was February 19th, which was in a lot of cases like the high of the market before it started to go the other way. And I think Palantir is the next Microsoft. I think they are going to be the SaaS giant, software as a service of our generation. And I think they're headed quick to $1 trillion plus market cap. Now maybe
trillion.
Yeah, maybe quick as 3 to 5 years or whatever. I mean, they're not adding clients as fast as some people would like, but they make AI work. Like AI, essentially, like everybody has this kind of idea in their head of what it is. It can differ for a lot of people, but really it's LLMs, and then that's it. It doesn't really do anything else. Like you can get it to make you a picture. It's like, oh, you can code some video game that you'll never use like really quickly or whatever. But what are the use cases for AI? So what Palantir does is they bridge the gap between AI and all the data your company has, and they make it useful, they make it work together, they make it more efficient. And just to give you a quick example of how the market does not understand Palantir at all, they announced, I don't know, a month ago, 6 weeks ago, something like that, that because of Doge, that there was going to be this big reduction in government spending. Well, the vast majority of Palantir's business is Department of Defense, other government entities, things like that. And people said, "Oh, that's it. Palantir's going down." If that's your take, you really don't understand the technology because they make everybody more efficient, as I said. And so, if efficiency is the name of the game going forward, you not only need Palantir, but they become like the really necessary, essential part of the whole that you can't live without. And if you're a private company, or a public company for that matter, they're finding out case by case that, whoa, we have access to all this data now with what Palantir can do. I mean, they're also doing stuff with vehicles, armored vehicles, stuff for the Defense Department. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're doing insurance companies, fast food companies.
Yep,
They're
totally.
just a plug and
Oil
play.
companies. Yep.
Yeah, just to help Laura understand kind of what they did is like I've seen an interview of them at AIP, which is a convention that Palantir holds every year. I think they only hold like 4 or 5, but
a year. You need to go to one of those.
no, they hold 4. They've only held 4 or 5
All right,
at all. Yeah, this is. I think they just recently did one. But when I was watching an interview, and the guy I think he was talking to someone from Wendy's. To be honest, could have been AIG. It might have been Wendy's though. But anyways, he was talking to him, and the guy said it's like looking into the Matrix. And he's like, you are on the outside, and you can see all the information in the data, and you can see how it lines, figure out what you need and what your goals are, and it'll just help you like navigate it. And then everything, and then you just kind of, I mean, to be honest, I haven't used any of the technology, but when it comes to commoditizing LLMs, which is like everyone was like LLMs, these AI chatbots are crazy. Palantir was the only company to step back and be like, yo, that is just a commodity. You need something to organize the LLMs and plug those LLMs in. So that's what Palantir is. It's like it's what everybody thought the AI was supposed to be. I think everybody jumped early at the first product that AI offered, which was the chatbots. So easy to understand, ask it any question. But yeah, I think that they took it to the next level, and to see it, we bought in early and we end up selling after the CEOs took down a lot of shares. We sold billions of shares at like $49, and we sold for higher than what they sold for, and we thought we're good. Like
we thought we made a bag.
Yeah, like, when it drops again, I'll come back in. But it just kept going up, and it's where it's at right now. And it's just exciting. We're no longer in the trade anymore, but it's still
still a buy, or is it too late to get in, Marshall?
It's still a buy for sure. Like I said, I've got it at a $1 trillion market cap in the next 3 to 5 years. That's better than a 5x from where it is today. So get in, or get in cheaper. If you got a little bit more money in the market, you got, in this case, at least, I don't know, $12,000 ish. You could buy 100 shares. You got another 10 or 12. Then what you can do is do some options on it. You could do a strangle with puts, sell a put below that price, get some better pricing, sell a call on top of the shares that you purchased, and so that would be a strangle with covered calls, and get some premium and start to work it. For me, if I think something is going up 6-8 times, I'm just going to get on it. We have somebody that works in my office. She put Palantir in her portfolio. On paper, but she wouldn't buy it because it was too expensive. And this was like 7 months ago. So it was like from $40, $50, $60, $70. It's like, buy the damn stock. Also, you can't tell people, hey, this is my portfolio. You don't even have the stock actually in it because it hasn't hit your price target because you won't buy it. So, get long at least certain amount of shares. And this is just kind of how I approach portfolio management is, let's say your terminal weight in a position is 5%. I'm just making that up. Usually it's less than that, but let's just say it's 5%. Go buy yourself 0.5% and start your position. Go buy 0.25%. Go buy 1%. You know
Yeah,
what I
start
mean?
somewhere and
Start
follow
somewhere.
where it's going. Yeah, because once the skin's in the game, you'll be able to feel the momentum. Like, hey, are we building up? Is this a good time? I haven't
Yeah.
seen it at 10% discount for 2 days in a row ever the whole time I've been watching it. So then you kind of figure to buy. Yeah, I believe in that too. Is like put some skin in the game, and it'll really make you start practicing. Like, oh, I need to get this position up. So,
Also,
yeah.
Robinhood makes it very easy to purchase fractional shares. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's
They do
really
do
cool.
that.
I didn't know you could do that. I mean, that's amazing. So if you could do that on fractionals, then yeah, get in there. And Laura, just one more example of the way I loved, Eddie, the way you described Palantir. You remember the movie Minority Report?
Yeah.
Where he's like grabbing all the stuff from the screens?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Wow.
It's like, yo, I want this and I want this. And yeah.
I love that visual, Marshall. Love that.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Tell the producer to put that into the clip when we drop it on YouTube.
Marshall, we got to have you back soon for an options only call. Like, we
Options
need
only.
option strategies. We need all that good stuff. A little breakdown. Give some good analogies. You're always really good at breaking down terms and using real world examples.
And we'll just do basic stuff too to start off, like generating income, which is just obviously everyone's head go, oh, what generating income? Yeah, you need some capital to start, but generating income, and then we'll start on like entering and exiting positions.
I think we'll get a little AOU
go a
NFA.
little further from there, but I think like just the little things that I've heard from you, I'm like, oh, I just get ideas too. I'm like, maybe I should do a
We need an
stranglehold.
educational schedule out soon, so we'll work on that in the
I like
back.
that. So with that though, I have to ask Marshall, because Marshall, you've called me out on this guy once or twice before on the timeline, in a chat on the show when you've just typed in the comments. And so my question is, Dave Ramsey is always talking about and this mythical, which I can't find anywhere, but he swears exists, 10% return on your money in the market. And I don't know where that is. And I always feel dumb because I'm like, I'll put the 10% wherever that's, you know what I mean? I'll put my money wherever that 10% is, but I never find it. So Marshall, where is this fucking unicorn of 10%?
Guaranteed 10%. Tell him.
So you're saying that Dave is saying that there's a guaranteed 10% in the market?
I mean, he may have not said those exact words, but I have heard him say that you can make 10% in the market.
He's talking about index funds.
Yeah, I mean, on average, the return historically is about 10%. I mean, if you just invested in, people always talk about the old generation always looks at the Dow Jones. I don't do that. There's barely any companies in there, very few of which I own. So I look at the S&P as a benchmark that I think most people own. Yeah, so buy the index and just kind of wait. Personally, I don't like buying the index because you have no maneuverability when it comes to things like taxes or making
market downturns. You're totally subject to a market downturn.
Correct. And if something really hits a home run that you have conviction in, like Hood, I mean, I got Hood from y'all. I use that, and I wanted to go back to this earlier because you mentioned this before, was retail is really where it's at now. You can turn on to, I don't know, CNBC or Bloomberg or Fox Business, and there'll be somebody talking about a stock on there. But boy, are they late all the time. And I'm not sure they're not on there just to get you to buy stock just because they own the stock or whatever.
Late and low level knowledge.
But the smart ones like Squawk Box, MSNBC, they're pivoting and they're saying, hey, this generation is realizing fake news is out. They don't want to hear from the analysts. They don't want to hear from the hedge funds. They want to hear from retail. They want to hear from what the street is actually saying. So they're bringing on people that are not getting steak dinners. They're not getting flown out. They're not getting wined and dined. And we want to hear the
They
real,
just have skin in the game, and they studied the company, and they have a bunch of valuable information to share.
It's a
like
completely
there's
different
no
landscape. It's wild.
It's pretty cool. And we just recently saw Amit on Bloomberg too. So
that was sweet. No, he
Yeah,
did really.
that was
He did well on there.
amazing.
He crushed
Congratulations
it.
to him. That
Small
was
step for retail investor and analyst, but a huge step for retail analysts everywhere because it's
No,
like
listen, you all brought up some really great points. I mean, I remember being a kid. My mom was a nurse and going into her office, and they had all the doctors were like at Tahiti or something or whatever. I was like blowing up a glove to be like a blowing up like cow udders or whatever. And I was like, "Where's the doctor?" And they're like, "Oh, they're all at this vacation in Tahiti." So the way it'd work is the drug makers would come through and be like, "Hey, we'd love to talk to you about whatever. Let us take your whole office on vacation." And then lo and behold, you come back, and now that's the drug that you're recommending when somebody has one of these 10 problems or whatever. Right. And so it's like the steak dinner and stuff you're mentioning. Listen, not to say that you can't do something with cool people or whatever, but we wonder where your loyalties lie and where your information is coming from and what's really right for me when they're paying you and also you have a good opinion of them. And so nice
That
to
is
have like a
such a good point.
separation.
I
Yeah.
love that medical talk we were just speaking about. My mom's a psychologist, and all of her psychiatrist friends just are prescribing, depression meds for women nonstop. And the pay, it's like one of the highest commission drugs that these
Yeah.
putting everybody on, I don't know, emotional medication and blocking their dopamine and serotonin. It's very sad, but it's very lucrative.
Totally.
Well, I do think there's a group of people that could benefit from some of that medication. I really do have to say it. And seeing some of these videos, it makes me want to encourage mental health assistance. And so let me just see what I have here. All right, perfect. It loaded up perfect. And let's see. Some of these folks need medication.
Bro, these guys are like the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Wait, is Antifa good or bad? I always get confused.
Bad.
I mean, yeah, if you have to cover your face, to show up. Anyway,
I don't know.
Okay.
I just think a lot of these folks that do this type of nonsense is crazy.
Yeah.
On both sides, by the way, far left, far right. I think you're fucking nuts. But yeah, I mean, I think that when I see that, I'm like, oh wait, maybe mental health medicines are a good buy right now. I don't know.
Fuck it. Bring back lobotomies. Let's get to it.
perfect introduction for Marshall to tell us about Hims' new product.
I knew you were.
Wait, you okay?
Marshall,
No.
tell me you've seen those OnlyFans-esque commercials for Hims. I'm like,
Dude,
they are.
how is Hims the wonder drug, by the way? It fucking cures hair loss, boners. It's great for guys. It's great for girls.
They got chewable, injectables.
I'm like, what is that? I won't.
Inhalables. It's everything. They're like,
I'll take the fucking COVID vaccine before I'll take a Hims. I'm going to tell you that.
Marshall has a good bullish Hims thesis, but what Brittany was saying was there's these commercials that are coming on, and they're like, "Oh, I love it when he pulls out the Hims."
I get so excited when he pulls out the Hims.
All right, chill out.
Oh, I got another one for her.
It's on YouTube and stuff. These commercials are so flagrant. You're like, what the hell is on my TV right now?
Hold on, though. Before we get Brittany's take, I got to say,
hello? Listen, because a real bitch is talking who gets real fucking money. Fucking weirdos.
I love Natalie Nunn. She's crazy for that.
Can you pull up a recent Hims commercial? Is that possible?
I'm sure I can. Yes, I'll pull it up right now. But yes, I'm going to pull it up right this second. Don't worry, I am your
2025 one.
Hims 2025. We got it rocking. All right.
Three women in the commercial.
I love Laura's take on it though, because it does make you kind of bullish on Hims. Like for someone who, like, I don't invest in Hims, but for Laura to say, how is this the miracle drug? Like it does everything, because you do hear it.
All these different drugs that they want to get you on. They have a suite of
you
drugs.
don't realize
one for
that.
hair loss, one for ED, one for being fat.
Oh,
one for being
weight loss too. Weight loss too.
Now that you say it, I'm like, yo, I think they cure every ailment that a human has.
That a man doesn't want to go to the doctor for.
Oh yeah, it's like oh, I'm balding. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Oh, my dick can't get hard. I don't want to talk to anybody about this.
Let's see what we got here.
Obesity is America's deadliest.
Nah, this ain't.
See, that's another one though. Normalizing
and using Childish Gambino is wild.
To have 1 million deaths.
I don't like it. I don't like their marketing. Their marketing
This is
really
America.
good. I don't like it.
Something's broken. It's not our bodies. It's the system.
This is the one from the Super Bowl.
Welcome to weight loss in America.
Did Childish Gambino sign off on
$160
that?
industry that feeds on our failure. There are medications that work, but they're priced for profits, not patients.
This is America.
This system wasn't built to help us. It was built to keep us sick and stuck. But not anymore. Hims and Hers offers life-changing weight
Wow,
loss
they're
medication.
positioning themselves as the
Affordable,
solution. I love
doctor
it.
trusted,
Instead
and
of the
formulated
Band-Aid.
in the USA. You get a treatment plan designed by a
They
doctor
always
to fit
say,
your
by the
body,
way, I'm gonna
goals,
pause it
and
really
lifestyle.
quick. Well, I'll wait.
You
till
deserve
it's
to feel great in your body. This is the future of healthcare.
No, it's
this
not.
is Hims and Hers. Join us in the fight for a healthier America.
I'm sorry, Marshall. This scares the shit out of me, and here's why. Just real quick before you go.
This is America.
That one of the things, yes, that really bothers me, and it really bothers me that Childish Gambino allowed that song to be put in that commercial. But here's the thing that I've learned throughout life, just as a human being that I've learned throughout life, is that there is no miracle pill. My friend, if I want to lose weight, I've got to stop drinking Modelo's and start hitting the gym. That's just the fact of it. I don't believe in a wonder drug, a drug to cure all of your problems. These guys are talking about it cures weight loss, it cures hair loss, it kills fucking boner loss.
Yeah,
and
they're all different drugs, respectively. It's not just one drug that does it all.
I thought it was one drug. The way their
No, no,
ads
no.
are set up, it's like one
These are all
drug.
different. They brand it that way because there's no point in confusing someone. It's just like, oh, do you want the hair growth Hims? Do you want the other growth Hims? You know, it's just but I do like hearing your take though, because I do like to hear what the outside person is thinking about this product because I don't use it.
No, but I'm not the outside person. There's a lot of folks that are seeing this and be like, I want
Right.
hair. I want a harder dick. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not that guy. And I have like I have opposition.
Trust me, Lawyer, you're not that guy.
But
You're just not that guy.
I'm not that guy that needs hymns. You know what I mean? But I am the guy. I am the Antifa guy that'll fucking fight one of these motherfuckers. But go ahead, Marsh, go for it.
Yeah, I listen. You know, in investing, you need to figure out what type of investor you want to be, and if you've got enough money that you want to put your money where your mouth is, or you know, it's not about the money per se. You want to be a principled investor and pass on a certain investment. Like that's legit. For example, I personally don't invest for me or any of my clients in Disney or Target. Like I've got a young son, you know, they're promoting like chopping your dick off and stuff. Like I'm not about that. I'm just like, I'm not going to put any money there. They may be excellent investments. I'm not talking to my clients about them. In fact, when they started going like ultra woke, we got out of those investments if we did have any, and I'm just not going back. So I'm not saying being a principled person as an investor is a bad thing. I will say that I disagree with a lot of the takes that I've heard on Hims and Hers. And I'm as anti-doctor as you can possibly get. I'm kind of up there with Dana White. You hear him over COVID, he's like, I'm never going to a doctor again. He's like, maybe he's like, they don't know anything about anything. He's like, maybe if I break my arm and I need surgery, okay, I'll go. But like for my general health, I'm never going to a doctor
That's
again.
literally what I said. I said, if I can feel it, if I can move it,
Yeah.
I'm not going in there again. But I don't think that it's bad to have principled investing,
I
but
don't
you
either.
have different priorities for your investing. So your kid is like up there, obviously. And
Yeah.
for me, the health psyop and the body positivity psyop of women, that for me is up there as well. So that's why I am so 10
I'm
toes
there.
fully against.
I'm not on that train. I'm there too. I mean, for sure, you know, son and family is top, but I'm with you. I mean, I'm a big believer in getting healthy the right way. You know, the father of medicine, Hippocrates, said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. You know, that's where I start, right?
Amen.
What can we do on our own? How are we growing this food? You know, I'm anti Monsanto, glyphosate. Like, I'm as natural as you can possibly be as my first line of defense. What I will say is the times that I've had to go to the doctor or whatever, and this is probably you guys too. You know, you go to the doctor, and let's say you were just there 3 months ago, you're filling out like 6 pages of stuff, and they're like, oh, we just want to make sure it's updated. It's like, it's the same as when I was just here. Nothing's changed. Then they give you a prescription. You go to the pharmacy, it takes you an hour to get there, and you show up and they're like, ooh, it's not ready yet. Could you come back in like 2 hours? It's like, listen, admittedly, like I'm not a pharmacist and I'm not positive how it works, but I'm pretty sure you got a big bottle of this shit and you just need to take some of it out and put it in a smaller bottle and hand it to me. It really takes you like 3 hours to do that. You know, like I don't understand the system. And to me, that indicates, because I'm not the smartest person, but I'm also not an idiot. To me, that indicates that the system is just broken. So I've been a big believer in they're going to find a better way. And when they do, whoever figures out this better way is just going to absolutely crush it. So what I will say for hims and hers is
I think we already had. No, go for it. Go for it.
No, you cut out. I'm sorry, or I cut out. You
No,
said
you
there's
cut out.
already
I
a
think
better.
your service is a little poor right now.
Oh, darn it.
I think we just need to bring back house doctors that make house calls outside of the insurance system, where they have access to all the medical care and equipment that we need. We don't have to pay premiums. We don't have to pay monthly. They treat you with nutraceuticals where applicable instead of pharmaceuticals. You know,
Sure.
you don't have to pay $10,000, $20,000 a year. You're paying for your medical assistance as you need it. For preventative care, obviously we need hospitals. We need the system for emergencies. But for preventative care, I feel like we can do all of that outside of the system now, where these doctors are not beholden to pharmaceutical companies, what these insurance companies are saying, all of that. I think we need to just bring back the days of old.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. And I see an opportunity for that with Hims. Actually, they bought their own peptide facility. Peptides are legit. I mean, they're helping a lot of people in a lot of ways. They bought their own compounding facility. So no more of this. You probably heard this in COVID. They're like, in COVID, it's like, well, China produces 90% of our insulin. Like, if they just want to stop sending it to us, we're fucked. You know, they're domestically shored, right? So they do their stuff here. They're making partnerships with big drug companies. They're not a drug company. They're a more of a middleman, if you think of it
They're
that
like
way.
a
But they can,
brokerage. Yeah, they're like a brokerage.
they can make the stuff too, almost like the generic version with their compounding facility and other stuff. So like Wegovy through Novo Nordisk, like that was a big thing. They're like, hey, we can't sell GLP-1s, which is the weight loss drug that everybody's like going crazy over. Everybody's like, well, now their revenue is going to drop. What happened is Novo Nordisk can actually produce it as cheaply as Hims can produce it. And they're a company that is an international company, so they're subject to tariffs and other stuff, right? So what better way than to take a US based company and have them be the creators of these drugs for people that want drugs and have decided that that's their solution, but also they're building like a background on you personally. Like they make personalized cocktails or change the dosage of different things. So why that's important is like you may take a drug and have a side effect. Well, they can change this amount of this or this amount of that to make it where you have less side effects. Again,
because they manufacture them, right? That's
because they
who
manufacture it
handles that
and because
data?
they know about you personally. So
I
they're
understand that
personalizing these doses.
A lot of data. That's a lot of data. That's a lot
Yeah,
of
that is a
personal
lot of
data.
biometric data as well. But I do see that they have a service that they're providing that there is a need for cheaper drugs, for access to drugs if you don't have access to a doctor.
Mark Cuban has something that's awesome with that.
He does.
Oh, we got quiet. Mark Cuban. We're going to deny Mark Cuban.
I'll deny Mark Cuban all day. I mean, the guy's
It's
kind of a
really
chump.
just the marketing. It's the way that they're going about it. The marketing, the sneaky marketing. They just got in trouble by the FDA for not disclosing side effects.
Side effects, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you have to put that in. And it's crazy that we allow medical and pharmaceutical adverts on the TV. Like
We
no other
used to
country
not, by
does
the way.
that. Yeah,
we used to not. Yep.
Now you know that all these doctors, that obviously the FDA is for sale, these doctors are for sale, all these institutions are for sale, and we are we're on the
Hey, you used to not be able to advertise liquor on TV either.
You
And
need
so
to bring those days back.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed, and
No, you still can't drink a
we need
beer
lot of
on
changes.
TV.
You can't drink, but you couldn't be able to advertise. But with advertising pharmaceuticals, you have to disclose these. That's why all the fine print is read really, really quickly. If you struggle with this, talk to your doctor about blah blah blah. Make suicide, all that kind of stuff. So if they're not disclosing that, they're getting in trouble like that. There's just so many things in their marketing that I don't feel are upfront, and I feel like it's sneaky when it's medical.
So what do we have against cost plus drugs? Oh, I thought I was very pro cost plus drugs. I thought it was a good thing. Why would we be against that?
What's cost plus drugs?
That's Mark Cuban's pharmaceutical company.
Oh, I didn't know about it.
I might be more pro them since they don't seem to have, advertisements that are leading this generation astray.
Yet.
The thing is it just to tie a pretty bow on it too. It goes back to what Marshall's saying. It's like the retail analysts are going to be more popular in the short term because of stuff like this, where it's like people are starting to realize, oh, well, the news can't even give you a bad take on some of this stuff because they have advertisement connected to some of these big pharmaceutical industries and stuff. So you start wondering, well, where's the other information and stuff, So this just leads back to that, where it's like independent media is going to blow up even more, and people with skin in the game are going to be the more dominant analysts in the future.
So wait, I got to get Marsh's opinion on this. He said, "Fuck Mark Cuban." Mark Cuban has this awesome prescription program, no middlemen, no price games, huge drug savings. Why are we against this? Is this a bad thing?
Well, just like we've been talking about, I don't think any of us are really pro modern healthcare. And, unlike Hims, just as a differentiator, they're not doing anything. I mean, all they're doing is giving you better pricing. You could have gotten that with GoodRx for the last number of years, right? So, I mean, there's always ways to get drugs cheaper, but there are thousands and thousands of drugs out there, right? So how do you see through what's right for you? What's your relationship like with your doctor? Who knows the most about you? Who knows the most about what's important to you? Like I had high cholesterol like 5 years ago or something like that. And I went and they're like, okay, we're going to put you on statins and do this and do that. And I was like, how about I change my diet and exercise? And I always remember the doctor's like, you think you could do that? And I was like, well, I'm definitely going to try before just my first thing is statins.
That's so sad. Hold on. They sent me a new commercial. I have to, by law, legally, I'm obliged to play this.
We found it.
Well, last night he used Hims. Honestly, nothing better than when a guy breaks this out.
I seriously can't stop thinking about Hims.
Hims.
Thank you for the best night of my life.
PSA to guys out there, we love
horrible.
when you Hims.
If he pops one of these, I know what's coming.
Hims.
Hims.
For longer, better times in the bedroom. Get started today at Hims.
Those are like mints, bro. Those are like little fucking
I feel
candy.
embarrassed watching
telling
this
you.
with you guys.
Gorgeous would 100%. She's totally against me taking any. Like I've joked with her. Let me grab a gas station pill. She's like, fuck no. I don't want you fucking up your heart. I don't want you dealing with any of that. Really.
But Hims look safe, right, Lord?
I mean, it's probably safer than a gas station pill. Would we admit that?
It's safe.
I don't know what's in Hims. I have no idea what's in
blood
that.
flow. Cooking for blood flow, using turmeric, using cayenne pepper.
I'm with you. Listen,
using refute as
we're on the
medicine,
same
not.
page.
There's some
I'm
things
good,
that you
bro.
can.
I don't
do to
need
get
it. Number
your-
one,
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't need it. My wife is fucking.
We got that.
Absolutely satisfied. But the thing is, like when I joke about it, and I'm like, "Yo, let me do it." She's like, "Fuck no." She like gets really pissed off about it. She's like, "I don't want you touching that." And the thing is that my wife has always created. This is an odd one, but she's always created home cooked meals.
Yeah.
So it's like she doesn't want really anything fucking interfering with that. Doesn't want any like outside anything happening in our house, and so I think that might be why I'm probably big against it. Is that like if my wife is saying you don't need that and I don't want that, then I'm not buying the stock. Does that
There's a lot of people out there making a different decision. And to use your gas station pills analogy, like, would you rather eat an egg salad sandwich from the gas station or one from like a nice restaurant, or sushi from the gas station or sushi from like a legit, sushi
restaurant though? That's a bad thing though, Martian. And I'm just gonna disagree with you here because at a nice restaurant, I can go there.
Yeah.
I can talk to the owner. I can see the chef smoking weed outside in the back and talk to him.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't have that with Hims to be able to be like, oh, well, this is a really fancy place. You know what I mean?
Well, that's when you get the herd.
I do think you do. I mean, they have personalized healthcare, and I'm not promoting Hims or whatever, because I think we share way more in common on this, the point of this idea or the ethical side of this idea than we do disagree. For an investment, I think it's a great investment. And that is separate than
because people want shortcuts.
I won't deny that part.
People want shortcuts, and that's why Hims is still a good idea. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I wrote my bare thesis on Hims at $17. So you could just, I'm still looking over here like, yeah, that's a great investment for people who wanted to double their money.
You wrote it at 17. What is it at now?
It's like 52 or something like that.
Wow.
And I chose to go with Hood, and where's Hood at? 50 right now. So
54.
I'm not mad
at
the
Hood's been a great investment. I mean, I've got personally, I have Hims as a $1,000 stock in the next 5 to 7 years. Yeah.
I think that makes sense because healthcare is getting out of control. Healthcare in the U.S., it just makes sense to invest in in Amazon Health when they're about to get their stuff rolling out, in Hims and company, these telehealth places. There's another one that's going to start doing blood samples soon that you basically, they've figured out a way you can take your own blood at home. You send the vial back. They give you everything that you need. They give you a lab test read. That's where we need to get in early on.
Can I ask you guys a question though? Because we're just mainly focused on the sexual pills, but they have the hair growth pill, and we all have a good head of hair, all of us. But I still want to ask you, if you lost your hair, would you guys go seek pills? And if so, would you consider Hims? No. You guys think diet? Or you guys think it's time for age?
I think as you get older, you just become comfortable with what you got and what you don't got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, as you get older, your testosterone does raise, and it's testosterone with the lack of copper and other heavy metals that you need in your diet. But it is hormone imbalance. So if you can balance your hormones, you won't have to deal with hair loss.
Yeah.
And I got to go back to God on that one. I just deal with whatever God gave me personally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do that, but I'm curious. Marshall, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What you just said really fucking hit me. We're talking about a $50 stock that you see churning into 1,000 in a few years. I mean, micro years, under 10.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to know, where do you get your information here, there, wherever it is that makes you say, whether it's that stock or another stock, that like, yo, I think this blows up to like a huge level. And I want to get information on that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, you just need to look at what the value of the market is and what the leader in that space is going to do. Just this'll help out all the crypto people. You know how when we're looking at like shit coins, you can look at market cap and go, well, hey, everything, no matter how big of a piece of crap or not, is going to hit 100 million or 500 million, right? Like eventually, like, and if it's sitting there at some low thing, it's going to go up. Well, the same's true in the stock market. Industries are worth a certain amount, and the leaders are going to take a big share of that market capitalization. that's available in the total addressable market. So if I told you, and just to throw out some other valuations, I mean, there's multi-trillion-dollar companies, right? Amazon's worth well over $1 trillion. Nvidia's worth, a few trillion. There's a bunch of trillion-dollar companies. So if I told you that the leader in health tech, where you could get a doctor, they're your pharmacy, they'll compound, it's specific to you, the solutions. These aren't, hey, we have one thing and it probably works for you like everybody else. Like they're tailoring things to you. So these are
so it's
boutique.
over really quick, Marshall, just
Yeah.
so I know. It's over. It's game fucking over. These motherfuckers are going to have your data down to your DNA to be like, this is who you are as a human.
Yeah.
This is what's best for you. We're
This
letting
pill
you
makes
know
you a
that.
better human.
You want them to, if you want these solutions, just like Britt was just talking about on the blood test. Like you want to get in on the blood testing because at a certain level, if you know all these things about me, then you can really help me. And I'm not saying deliver me some drug company drugs that I don't want. I'm more looking at like, how can I optimize? Like,
How
what
can
am
I biohack? Yeah. To
yeah,
my best
like what
potential.
am I short in today? Do I need to go get some oysters? Do I need to get some leafy greens? Like what's up? And those of us who are in tune, or even those who aren't, have recognized this. You ever like sat around and crave something? You're like, damn, I need some like raspberries, or I need some kale, or I
Or
need
you're like,
that
damn, a
is
smoothie sounds really good to me right now.
that
You
is
could
your
taste it.
body recognizing its deficiency in something that you probably don't even know exists, and this is the food that has it, and it's your brain telling you go get this food. Like we already do it. The more in tune you get, the better you can be, but the more you know about that, the better off you can be. And rather than wait until your body's absolutely craving it to the point where you're like, fuck dinner tonight, I'm gonna go eat a whole thing of bananas or apples or whatever, cantaloupe. Like you might know ahead of time, through blood test and through monitoring where you're at. And so, if you're not worried about the nefarious side or the big brother side of them knowing all these things about what's going on with you, it really could be a benefit if they could get on the, I'm not really a vitamins person either, and I think they got, a lot of bad things they can do to your liver. But I'm more of a, like I said, food is the answer. But I'm there's a Dr. Schultz, which is a big vitamin, natural food vitamin down where you guys live in Southern California. I get his mixes right now. I love Dr. Schultz, and it's all real food in there. There's
So,
not just some crap.
do you
And I
think,
think that they're on the verge of this.
do you think HIPAA will be a thing of the past, and it's going to be like, no, you gave that information to a corporation, not to your doctor?
No, it's the same
Or-
thing. No. They're responsible. They can't go and be like, talking to Britt and Eddie about signing up. Be like, yeah, we talked to this guy, Lord, and here's what's going on with him. I mean, HIPAA is just the privacy around medical information. So you're
And
able
they'll still have
to.
to follow that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can't
sure.
sell it to somebody else.
No. And I don't
Because
think they want to.
If you do telehealth and they engage with like AI doctors and prescriptions and stuff, right? Are those AI bots? Are they responsible for keeping?
Oh, that's a good question. Like if you upload your blood results to Chat GPT,
he's not a doctor, but he has given all the information to the doctor, pretty much.
Well,
Yeah,
if you use that
they're
for brokers, the brokers still have fiduciary responsibility. So I would think that transfers to medical as
I
well.
don't know if it applies
Yeah.
to Chat GPT. That's insane. That's a crazy question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
There's
how
privacy
does
and all that,
how does
yeah.
AI affect Hims? Do they just get better at
They
making
use
the
it.
cocktails?
Optimizing.
They're using they're using it just like the example I gave earlier about the pharmacy and why it takes so long, or going into the office and filling out the same damn form on my ad. Nothing's changed. Why can't I just say nothing's changed and go see the doctor? Well, they're cutting that out. So like they
That
have a
makes sense,
telehealth.
yeah.
They like you can talk to a doctor with them, but they're cutting it all out. Like all the waiting part and the same information over and over. Dude, it's the same.
And when you really
so
break this down, everything is this same thing. It's like as technology progresses, we cut
Yeah.
out more and more middlemen, and you get
Yeah.
more to solving the problems, and
Right.
you have more time to doom scroll on your phone and just kind of figure out what's going on. That's literally what's going on. You will not own anything. Even your doctor will be a subscription. Your music will be a subscription. Your everything, your stocks, like everything's gonna be. Your finances will all be
Access
subscription.
to your medical records, you got to pay that monthly fee.
So it is an interesting time. Your driving will be a subscription. Like your FSD subscription will have to clock in every month too. So it's an exciting time, but it does feel majorly abundant. And I think like looking from like the Black Mirror point of view, so to speak, it's scary, but also there's so many opportunities in there. And that's what I like to focus on is like, yes, there will be some jobs lost. There will be some jobs that become obsolete, but more jobs will be created through this. If
you know how to pivot and if you know how to prompt, learn how to work with these LLMs, learn how to implement AI and become better and get hired at better jobs instead of just saying, oh, I'm losing the AI race.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, just like why these companies are becoming important is because of their ability to attack efficiency. That'll be the job of the future. If you are able to become way more efficient, like by a factor of 10, you are going to have a job. And maybe you're controlling, there's, 10 bots to you, but you're doing the productivity now of 100 people or whatever. There's always going to be a place for you. So efficiency.
I love that. I love that you say that, Marshall, because that is exactly why we're so bullish on Hood, because CapEx is when you implement blockchain technology and you're using stable coins to settle, there's so many ways that you are saving and innovating that if you're not implementing this and if you're not using this as a way to minimize CapEx, I think that, you're going to get left in the dust. But if you are, those are the companies that you want to invest in that are generational companies that are trailblazing.
We are so over time, guys. I mean, this is a great. We could talk
to you,
forever.
Marshall. You're one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Yeah, dude, Marshall, you got to come back for sure. I hope we made this enjoyable for you. I know you're stuck.
We need the Tesla drive too, for sure.
We need some options.
Yeah, we need
strategies.
options.
I'll be down next month with my son. We'll go to dinner. I'll take you for a ride in the self-driving. We'll go out to dinner. My treat. And
back at the Glendale location at that.
Yeah, you missed my wedding, so you have to go.
I'm sorry about that. I owe you guys big time.
I guess we'll wrap it up here. But ladies and gentlemen, is anything you want to plug, promote, talk about, discuss before we go? Any parting words? Marshall, the guest, do you have any parting words for us?
Just in closing, get your money right, get efficient. I mean, I think that's the name of the game. And ask questions. Everybody knows everything now, so don't be afraid to ask some questions that make sense. And let's all get it and get excited about the future because it is super bright. I mean, you're gonna need like stun of shades just to get through it.
That part.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and I also just want to say tune in next week, Thursday, at 6 p.m. We have so much to even go over. We didn't even get to like the regular news because we went through these clips and had so much to go on. But I'll just give you guys a sneak peek. We won a gold bar from Robinhood. So we'll be talking about how we hacked that next week.
Shut the fuck up. Did you really?
There was only 1,000 winners. So we'll talk about how we hacked it. Yes.
We got to release some videos.
Motherfucker, you didn't tell me that shit.
Bro, Brittany made me record. She made me record a video talking about how I won it before I won it, and I was like, "Man, this is so awkward." Why? She's like, "Just record it because you're gonna win it." And I was like, "All right." So I'm like, "Hey, I'm recording this video because I won the gold bar."
We'll talk about it next time. All
right, yeah,
dude, we should have covered that from the top.
No, we'll get into it next week. Make sure you guys tune in. We're here live every Thursday at 6 p.m. on YouTube, X. I think Laura has us on Twitch or something too. So yeah, like we're obviously here learning from each other. We are retail investors with, we have a stake in the game. We have our skin in the game, and it's just a great time. 2025, the golden era. Just like Marshall said, put them stunning shades on because it is a very optimistic future.
Oh,
I'm gonna wrap this up by saying, if your dick can't get hard, eat some pussy. If your hair is falling out, don't be stressed. If you're overweight, don't take a pill, go to the gym, and live your best life, guys.
Dude, I love the live your best life. I think that's you're right, man. If I can, you don't need the boner pills. You don't need them. I guess
on him though, right, Marshall?
I'll say, hey, man, check us out for Not NFT NYC. Buddy, I don't know what to tell you. It's the best party that happens that week. Everybody's looking forward to it. Tickets are coming soon. Make sure you check that out. We are here on Thursdays at 6:09 p.m. That is 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking finance, money, investing, finding that 10%, whatever it is.
Finding that 10x.
It's everything from meme coins to stocks. We wanted to cover it all. We got funny clips. We got a bunch of shit going on, but we hope you have fun, be safe, and invest. We'll talk to you all later. Peace. Let's see if we do that. Let's see if we